Good morning, afternoon or evening, ladies and gentlemen, Allincrypto here, and welcome back, guys, on this fabulous Friday for what is going to be nothing short of another jam-packed daily market update. I hope the introduction wasn't too much. We've got a lot to get into. My apologies. We've been kind of inconsistent in regards to the daily market updates this week. We've had a whole host of things going on. I'm in the midst of obviously things with the website, things more broadly with the brand, and of course, I'm currently developing and designing some courses that I'm looking to get finished. And of course, managing my own sort of portfolio, which is looking a lot healthier over the past couple of weeks. And we will, of course, be talking about that. What on earth is going on? Well, we highlighted a number of falling wedges across the board that are all playing out. And we said on balance and probabilities were going to play out, given how many of them there were. Of course, Bitcoin, we looked at the total market caps, we looked at crypto products, we looked at crypto stocks, and we looked at altcoins. And everything is coming to fruition, ladies and gentlemen. And it's a beautiful thing to see. When it walks, talks, and quacks like a duck, it's a duck. That whole saying comes from when we see multiple things pointing in the same direction, technically, i.e. looking at the charts, because I'm a technical analyst, it gives us confluence and confidence to call something a duck and go with it. And that's really all you're doing with technical analysis. So we will be covering that towards the end of the video. We've got some huge news, though, to share with you. We're going to be kicking things off just with a kind of general statement about all the things going on right now, geopolitically, economically. I don't have an amazing handle. I'm not an economist, an armchair economist at best, probably better than most economists, actually. And I'm not a geopolitical expert. But what I have said is that tariffs were taken too literally, and that there was likely going to be a middle ground, or in fact, a positive outcome to them in the form of lower tariffs across the board as negotiations opened up. The one country that's booked that trend is China, but we are getting news on that. So we'll start things off there. Then we had huge news. I mean, this was released 13 hours ago by the Federal Reserve. They've actually withdrawn their guidance for bank relating to their cryptocurrency assets and dollar token activities. This is all in preparation for probably one of the greatest wealth transfers I don't want to say that we're ever going to see, because hopefully we've got a long life ahead of us, but that we're going to be witnessing in the sort of near future. And that is the explosion of the cryptocurrency space. And we've yet to see a cycle for crypto where it's actually been used and utilized. We're here today. And I believe I've got some of the amazing plays that are going to profit from that. Plays like HBAR, plays like XRP. We've got a host of other ones in the Discord. If you do want to join that, check the link in the description, including ones that people don't talk about. We've also got crypto stocks. Do go and check that out. I will be doing an update today and releasing a course in due course. We'll talk about one firm that is enabling all this. And of course, check out who they're working with. And that, of course, is Circle. And then there was news in regards to pretty huge inflows over the past 4 days from ETFs. And then we'll finish things off on some price action. So let's kick things off. You can tell I've had my coffee this morning. With a general statement about the kind of economic situation right now. There still hasn't been a resolve. There's been, I would say, that kind of midpoint in regards to tariffs and what Trump had announced. Of course, he wants to get these out of the way of, and that's very typical with a new presidential term. They put the harshest policies first. And you can see, if anybody's looking for some rash cards, by the way, Google have very nicely suggested some to you. You can see that there's been kind of some resolution, or at least a willingness to resolve with that 90-day pause. The one country that perhaps is bucking the trend is China and the United States. Two largest economies going at it right now. I think there's going to be a resolve to that, because there ultimately has to be. Unless you want a new world order, which they do want, but I don't know what the right word would be. Complete chaos. Then there will be resolve from both ends, because the US buys, I think it's $500 billion from China in terms of trade. 245% tariffs, we said that's ridiculous. That's never going to happen. You might as well put 1,000% tariffs on. It's just a gesture, a statement, really, and a kind of the US's way to show they're serious. But I do think there's going to be a resolve. So I don't really know. We're getting some sort of, I'll tell you what I'm going to do, look at the S&P as we're talking about sort of geopolitically what's going on. We've said we need to see strength. We saw it with this 13% candle. I think this could entirely retrace, and we could be looking at a kind of 2018 style. This is when Trump did his last tariffs, and then a rally that comes on the back end of that. And certainly the cryptocurrency space is positioned for that, and we will look to that towards the end of the video. So I don't really know what the ultimate resolve is going to be. It could still go either way. I just have my opinions on what way I think it's going to go, and that is that actually the literal implementation of tariffs won't happen. and that there's going to be positivity out of the whole situation. The markets are priced in the worst. Sentiment it was lower than lockdowns. It was lower than 2008 and lower than 2000s. Really? I'm bullish right now. So why is everyone so... It's just because of the uncertainty. But uncertainty creates amazing opportunities in the markets generally. And in the cryptocurrency markets right now, especially as everything is kind of being engineered to unleash it, I think is the best word I could use. This is from the Federal Reserve website themselves, federalreserve.gov. Press release, April the 24th, 2025, which was yesterday, depending on when you're watching this video, of course. Federal Reserve Board announces the withdrawal of guidance for banks related to their crypto assets and dollar token activities and related crypto changes to its expectations for these activities. SEC's meeting today. First time Paul Atkins is going to be there. We looked at what Paul Atkins on Wednesday had to say about the digital asset space. It's his top priority. It's all of their top priorities. They need stable coins, ladies and gentlemen, to buy treasuries and ultimately further and ensure dollar dominance. The cryptocurrencies that enable that are going to be worth trillions of dollars, in my opinion. And you need to pay attention to what players are involved. Go and look at what the CFTC are doing with their pilot on stablecoins with Circle, Ripple, who was it on Kraken? There's a host of other individuals there. Go and look at what the rails are that this plan is going to run upon. There, you have an unbelievable opportunity. In the same way that with the internet, you had an unbelievable opportunity to buy the internet enabling stocks, you now have the unbelievable opportunity to buy the Internet of Value, IOV stocks or cryptos. I'm kind of losing myself here. That is massive. There is going to be a major wealth transfer. And I'm talking about just this technology and its trajectory, but more broadly, actually demographically. The vast majority of money is with a very old population. This is an interesting topic I haven't spoke about too much, but I will do a video on. They're old. There's going to be that transfer naturally. And where are these people going to go? Well, that traditional way of investing might not fly anymore in the new world. And you've got these native crypto people that are going to inherit all this wealth. Anyway, I'm going off topic. That is definitely for a hell of a lot longer video. The Federal Reserve Board on Thursday announced the withdrawal of guidance for bank related to their crypto assets and dollar token activities and related changes to its expectations for these activities. Ooh. These actions ensure the board's expectations remain aligned with evolving risks and further supporting innovation in the banking system. I am telling you right now, the future of finance is enabled by cryptocurrency and the future of money is enabled by crypto in the same way that the money today is largely digital and that was enabled by the internet and computers. The board is rescinding its 2022 supervisory letter establishing an expectation that state member banks provide advance notifications for planning or current crypto-related activities. As a result, the board will no longer expect banks to provide notifications and will instead monitor banks' crypto activities through the normal supervisory processes. They're allowed to do it now. Comptroller, CFTC, SEC, Treasury, they're green light. It's green light after green light after green light after green light. So the board is also rescinding the 2023 supervisory letter regarding the supervisory non-objection process for the state member banks engaged in dollar token activity, stablecoins. We've got the Genesis Act. We're going to get the stablecoin bill. I mean, I can't be bullish enough right now. And we were bullish despite the macro uncertainty, and we got that largely technically in regards to what we're expecting in the short term for price action. It filters broadly into the bigger picture. Finally, the board, together with the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, is joining the office of the Comptroller of Currency, headed by, is it Rodney? In withdrawal from two 2023 statements jointly issued by the federal bank regulatory agencies regarding banks' crypto activities and exposure. The board will work with the agencies to consider whether additional guidance to support innovation includes crypto asset activities is appropriate. So this is huge. Look at some of the companies that are going to enable this. We're talking about Circle, are a big one. This is from them just the other day. They've also launched a US DC Twitter that you might want to follow. And look at who's enabling Circle. They are going to use these companies, American companies, I don't think Tether dies, by the way, to further dollar dominance and support the treasury market. How much is that? I mean, the treasury market's $37 trillion. So there's no cross-border retail payment system yet. In test mode, we moved USD to BRL, which is the Brazilian real, in just 72 seconds, end to end. Let that sink in. It's going. And of course, you've got Jeremy Allaire, excellent conversation with the future of the dollar economic order with Ray Dalio and these individuals. Get bullish. Take advantage of this opportunity. There's been so much moaning when it comes to the cryptocurrency space. I see it daily in the comments. Man up. If you don't want to be here, don't. Simple. And if that offends people, well, that's your problem, not mine or anybody else's. You know, you either see this opportunity for what it is or just, you know, go find opportunity elsewhere. Also, over the past 4 days, $2.7 billion has been accumulated in regards to Bitcoin via the Bitcoin ETFs. You're going to see an acceleration of this. And this is all happening at a time when the cryptocurrency space is about to embark on that next leg. We've looked at continuation pattern after continuation pattern after continuation pattern, kept people on the trend, said this trend's intact despite the S&P invalidating its trend, and we need that recovery to take place for continuation to be on the cards. But we very much expected continuation. So this is a great place, 30 weekly moving average, great place to bounce. We're expecting continuation based on the technical targets that we've got. And then on the smaller time frames, boom, what do we have? A beautiful falling wedge that is, as we speak, leading to continuation. You're going to get resistance here, but you are going to push through it. And I believe entirely retrace this move and go on to higher ground in line with the higher technical targets that we have. We didn't just give you Bitcoin. We gave you the total cryptocurrency market cap, the total 2, the total 3, others. Crypto ETPs, look at how these are performing. 1, 2, 3. I mean, look at this one. Bitwise's top 10 is really doing very well, isn't it? It's doing exactly what a falling wedge should do. And we also gave you a whole host of altcoins all playing out today. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it from me. I do apologize. We've been rather inconsistent this week in regards to the daily market updates. We're back to normal now. You will be getting one daily and we will be coming out with some evening videos. Got some insane interviews lined up for you. That's another thing I've been quite busy with. We've got Smoke coming back on. We've got a Cardano interview in regards to Hydra and its scaling solution. And we've got a number of funds, big funds that you'll all well know coming on to talk to us, and a number of sort of economists to help us make sense of sort of geopolitical economic events more broadly and what's happening. But that's it from me, including some sort of conspiracy theorists. That's it from me, guys. I'm going to love and leave you. Have a fantastic Friday, everyone. I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. See you soon.